Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and in this video today we're going to try to fix up this very long pole hedge trimmer. So it's a 240 volt corded one. It's made by Einhell. It looks good quality. It's very, very heavy and it looks like it's all metal. So hopefully it should be quite a good one. The reason I bought it is because it says that the blades are moving, but it's not actually cutting anything, and I think that's weird. And it is GCHH9046, and it's electric pole hedge trimmer. So they cost around about £120. So let's get it unboxed and I'll show you what it's doing. My, look at that mechanism. Lovely. It allows a load of different degrees of movement, which is nice. So I'm going to have a little read up about this because I don't even know how to put it together. I'll have a little look in the instructions, see if it makes sense. Right, this thing is an absolute beast. Even the cord for it alone is just like super, super thick. Don't quite know how I'm even going to test this. I suppose I have to take it out to the garden and see if I can cut a bit of the ivy or something. But it's definitely making a lot of noise. And that is moving. Weirdly, it seems to be making much more noise from the motor, which I suppose not weirdly, you'd expect the motor to make noise, you know, this the motor here. But it doesn't seem to be making, I would have thought that bit there would have sounded more like ch-ch-ch-ch, which it doesn't. So maybe that's the problem. If you have a look here. But there's blades. And they're moving like this, so how can it not cut? I'm just going to unplug it and we're going to have a closer look at the blades. See, as far as I can see, these are super sharp and they are very close to each other. There's a tiny little bit of play, as you would expect. I mean, maybe I can tighten up the bolts a little bit, but I don't see the point. You need to have a little bit of play. Let me see if all the bolts are loose. See, I think you need that amount of movement, and they're all the same, so I think they've been set like that. I can't see how that's not going to cut. It has to cut. So I'm wondering whether it was some kind of weird installation problem. I actually can't believe how top heavy this is. You need to be a muscle man. My arm's already tired just trying to hold it like this. Unless you're supposed to rest it on your thigh or something. Fair play, it doesn't actually cut. Right, let's get the end off, get it on the mat and see if we can work out what's going on. Got myself some new nitrile gloves. I used up all my old ones on my wife's car that I have to change the timing chain on. I would actually film it, but because I'm out of my depth already and it's already going to be so hard and I can't let it go on for days, I'm just going to be doing it off camera, unfortunately. But I got some new gloves and I went for large because I went to my brother's house, he had gloves, and I've been struggling with my medium. I'm not a big guy, I've been struggling with my medium for ages, and then I tried on some of his large and they were lovely. I can take them off and put them on again without them ripping. So yeah, it looks like with these sort of gloves, always go a size up. Now, this is going to be hard to film because of the size of it. This is the mechanism here to change the angle of it. So not only can you change the angle on the actual by the motor, so you can make it go 45 degrees, 90 degrees, etc. You can also change this here. So by pinching these two together, you can then move it, for example, to there. And it looks like a nice, nice ratchet mechanism here. So you can, you know, put it in different orientations. I think I'm going to keep it maybe... Actually, what would take up less room? I suppose this is going to take up the least amount of room. There. Now, I'm really confused why these are sharp. You're going to have to take my word for it that they're sharp. And they're sharp on both sides. And they've been installed correctly. And it's moving up and down. Why on earth is it not cutting? But it isn't cutting. What you might have seen there on the video was the pollen bits. You know, the call it pollen bits, I don't know what they are, the bud type things that were shedding their pollen. It didn't actually do any cutting of anything. Why is that? Oh, maybe they didn't, maybe there's not enough travel like this. Maybe this one here is only going to here and this one's only going to here. Do you know what I mean? There might not be enough travel like that, possibly. That's the only thing I can think of. Can we move this by hand? Yes, we can. So basically, did you see there? That's the problem, I think. Look, so on this one, we've got good movement. It goes from there to there, yeah? But look at this one. This top one's just moving freely, and I think that's the problem. This top one doesn't seem to be locked. There you go. Why is that moving around the place? So when something hard goes in, all that happens is when this bottom one here moves up and down, yeah, it's just moving. So for example, imagine now if this was a branch here, all that's going to happen is when this is moving up, this top one's just going to move along with it. And then for example, when this moves down, this top one is just going to move along with it. We found the problem.
Puzzle time.
Right, a few videos back I did one of these and you guys seem to like it, so here's another one. 16 plus 1 equals 18. That's incorrect, isn't it? But how can we make this sum correct by just moving one PCB way? So it doesn't have to be 16 or 1 or 18 there. It can be any numbers, but you're only allowed to move one PCB way in order to get the sum correct. Just one. So you can pause the video there. I will give you about another 20 seconds or so to have a look at it to see what you can do, but you can pause it and you can take a bit longer yourself. And which one would you move to make the sum correct? I didn't get it. You ready? What you have to do is move this one here. So that's now a 9. And move this one here. So that's now an 8. 18 plus 1 equals 19. It's good, isn't it? Anyway, guess who this video is sponsored by? That's right, PCB Way. PCB Way is your one-stop solution for all things PCB fabrication and assembly. From rapid prototyping to full-scale production, PCB Way delivers top quality products. So whether you're a seasoned engineer or a hobbyist just starting out, PCB Way's user-friendly interface makes ordering your own custom PCBs very easy. And PCB Way do a variety of different services, including but not limited to assembling your PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection moulding. So when you're ready to take your designs to the next level, look no further than PCB Way and bring your ideas to life. So as always, a massive thank you to PCB Way for sponsoring the My Mate Vince channel. Between PCB Way and also the Patrons, they make YouTube, for me anyway, in 2025 a viable option. And I know going into the future that that option won't be there forever. So I feel very grateful that I can still be doing it now, all these years after I started. So yeah, massive thank you. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Let's take this apart here and see what we've got. So we've got a load of Allen key bits, or hex key. Let's straighten this up again. Oh, brilliant. I think this might be fixable. Everybody recognise this? If you don't, shame on you. You need to watch more of my videos. That's the one. Just strong enough. Right, here we go. What's it going to uncover? You ready? Zoom in a little bit. Here we go. Right, nothing yet. Let's take off this one. Now, okay, a load of grease. Why are you loose? Where are you supposed to sit in? So that's both of them moving, but I've got a problem with this top one. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute, no, I've got a problem with the bottom one. How's the bottom one supposed to... Yeah, because the top one's the one that moves with this axle here. You see this thing? So that goes around the motor bit, or the gear, the cam, let's call it. And then that goes on there. So that's how that goes up and down. That's fine, nothing's broken there. Why is this top one here? Why is that free to move? Where should you be? Does this come off? Oh no, that's annoying. Okay. It's weird, it's kind of like felt. Okay. I think I'm going to have to undo all these nuts and bolts, because I can't see what's supposed to be locking in this one. Oh, uh-oh. Oh! That bottom one should be on this one here. So we have one for the top of the motor and one for the bottom. Can you see this bottom one? So there must be another one of these on the bottom, which I suppose is correct because they've just made one blade and they've just put, you know, the same two of the same blade on each one. So that's slipped out of there. Okay, I think. Or has it broken off? It's broken off, I think. There doesn't feel to be anything there. Oh, don't think it's going to be fixable. I'm going to have to undo these nuts up the top and that will allow it to come off. Right, let's see what's what. So now this will come out. Oh, they're connected to here and this can't come out because all of this is here. So I am going to have to strip all this. Right, this is going to be a little bit messy. Let's take out this to begin with. Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, come on, there we go, excellent. Right now. Whoa, we're out. We're out. There is no bolt on the bottom of that. Oh no. There's no bolt here. Doesn't look like there should be a bolt though. So why have we got that one at the bottom? Hold on a minute, let's have a look on the underneath of this gear. Hopefully things will become clear. So we have another cam thing there. So this has to go around that. So for that to connect to this, there has to be one of these. It doesn't look like it's snapped off though. Let me undo. I'm going to have to undo every single one to get to it. I'm really confused. That looks like a perfect little mound just there. It doesn't look like there's any broken bits on it. What on earth is going on? Do you reckon it's possible that it actually wore itself down? You know, by rubbing like this. I think that's what's happened. Because look, we have a circle bit there. Let me see if that circle bit's on here. Let me see if I can move these. Can't really see because it's got the wear off the other one. That's unbelievable. You think that this would be full of metal dust. There's a few of you shouting at the screen, but I think that's what's happened. Otherwise, why would we have that one? Why would we have two of these? So it needs a new blade. I wonder whether the blade from my broken hedge trimmer, because that was Einhell, I wonder whether that would fit this one. Let me check. No, annoyingly it's a different size. It's kind of a different setup as well, where they're cut off from here. So, yeah, so on this one, if a branch was to be here, it wouldn't get cut. It would need to go into these bits. While on this one, as soon as it hits here, they're going to be cut. There's no kind of bits sticking out like this here, because that's the blade. This is a stationary bit. But then on the flip side, this is the blade and this is the stationary bit. Yeah, can't use that.
A Giggle search later.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. So, if you have a look at Einhell service, they do every single part of this thing here, from what I can see. Look, starts here, goes all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to here. How good is that? Let's get rid of that one. And it's got an exploded diagram. Granted, it's very hard to see what's what, like when I zoom in, and even if I press these ones here, I can't actually make out what numbers they are, but I can roughly see the two in green are the blades. And if you have a look here, you have shear blade up and shear blade down. It is euros. I don't even know if they deliver to the UK, but 100% parts are available. So that's good. So there's nothing that I can do here. You'd need to spend £30 on a blade here. It's worth it. I mean, I don't know how much delivery is, but it's the item itself is around about £110, I think it was. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this was £107 here, but there is a delivery charge on top of that. And yeah, that's it here. That's the model number. Right, okay. I'm going to have a little think to see if there's any way that we can budget for the video. But I don't think there is, because that looks like it's completely flat in there now. I'm just amazed it's gone down so much. Let me zoom right the way in to show you the wear on it. So I think what's probably happened is it's snapped off. There you go, look at the wear there. You can see the knobbly bit there? So it should look like that. And that's what we have. So I think it's snapped off, and then I think because of the rotation, it's, you know, the metal rubbing against metal, I think it's become like that. It's just been doing this. Like that. And I suppose just, you know, making it into a nice little mound like that. Weird though, isn't it? That looks factory finish. You can see why I was thrown. Right, leave it with me for a bit just in case there's anything I can do. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I might undo all these, and then if I was to take it down to my dad's shed with my MIG welder, how about if I was to bring the Dremel tool and an angle grinder? There's already an angle grinder down there from memory. And then how about if I was to weld on a massive one of these? As in, sorry, not weld on, as in use the weld itself. The weld wire as one of these. So build up the welds. Zoom, 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 zoom. And then that's if it's going to stick to this. I don't know what this is made out of. But it might stick to it, in which case then I could grind it back into a kind of circle like that. And clearly it needs a new blade, I know that. It's just, I wonder if there's a way that we could get this one working again. Put a little rectangle washer in there to stop play left and right. Okay, we are free. So now, are the blades the same? The blades are the same, so you don't have to worry about which one you get. Up, down is... No, they're not the same. What am I talking about? Yeah, they are the same because of these bits here. Yeah. So they're the same. So there isn't, as far as I can see, they're not sided. Well, 100% now we know that there should be a knobbly bit on that there. And there isn't. Yeah, I can see it now that it's clean. Okay. There you go. Can you see it isn't perfect? So, it's snapped off. Must have fallen out somewhere. Can't see it in here. Oh, hold on a minute. Mystery solved. Now let's get rid of some of that grease. That was like it was staged. It wasn't. Placed it there a minute ago. Only joking. Now, this is it here. So, I wonder, is there any way that I could drill out the middle of that? I wonder, would my dad have any good drill bits that I could drill out the middle of that, then weld it back onto here, and grind the top off? You know what I mean?
Right, okay. What I'm thinking is, I think if I was able to drill through this, which I might not be able to, but if I was, I think then the weld would go through much better and have a better chance of getting into here. Especially if I drill a little hole in here as well. It might fill with weld, and I think it would be a better fix. The problem is that I don't think my drill bits are going to really be up for it. Now obviously if I had a big machine shop with the drills, pillar drills or whatever, this would be really easy. I haven't. I've got a wobbly hand drill here, I've got a horrible yellow mat and a cardboard box, in the hope that if I do go through this, I won't just damage my mat and box, and hopefully I won't damage the floor. So let's take it off hammer, Vince. I don't think this is going to make any difference at all. I might try and put it in the vise, but I don't think the vise is going to be able to grip this very well. That's not working. Yeah. See, really I need the middle out, otherwise I'm going to be grinding for ages trying to get this to, you know, if I have to weld on 4 bits around the edge, it's going to take me ages to grind them back. And it's still going to look awful. Well, if I could get the middle out, I think it would be a nice looking fix. Oh no, I really am going to damage my floor. Hold on. Oh yeah, I have. Marcel's vice to the rescue. At the very least, even if it doesn't work, if I do slip again, hopefully it won't damage my floor. I already knew that the drill bit would go straight through the cardboard and the silicone mat, clearly. But what I was hoping is by putting a few extra layers down, I might have had the reaction times to stop the drill from going through that far. But so with the amount of downward pressure I was putting on this drill, that was never going to happen. So yeah, I have got a little bit of damage to the floor. But it's all in the name of trying to fix stuff, hey? This house is slowly getting ruined. Between painting random fence panels, screwing into posts in the garden, cutting bits of ivy that I don't want cut, fixing lawnmowers on the kitchen floor, cleaning disgusting things in the bath without my wife knowing, charging batteries on the carpet floor without my wife knowing, having leaks through the ceiling without my wife knowing, and now I've got a hole in the floor without my wife knowing. That's what I do for this channel, huh? And what thanks do I get? I'll tell you what thanks I get. I get thanks from the My Mate Vince Massive. That was a nice little intro into it, wasn't it? The Massive members this month are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes on YouTube, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeps.com, DJVG, Pigsy, Anthony Dean, Russ Melanson, Shigate, Rick R. Berglund, Soul Reaver 555, Shamsa Al Sawadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from the Broken Past on YouTube, Lee Benz, 360 Picture UK, Niall Stone, and the My Mate Vince fan club. So a massive thanks to each and every one of you. Anyway, back to the drilling. Or lack of drilling. Okay, I've made a tiny little indentation there. I don't think you could feel it, but I can see something. An amoeba could live in it. I think I'm wasting my time. I'm going to be here all day.
La question change.
Right, we are ready to rock and roll. I've got my MIG welder there. I haven't used this now for, I don't know, would it be about a year or something? So I feel a little bit apprehensive. Lighting down here is awful. I've got my mole grips on here just to try to hold it roughly in position. I kept turning it round until it wanted to sit completely, well, as flat as I could make it sit. So I think that's where it was originally. Now I'm going to put the grounding on here. Hopefully everything's nice and clean. I don't know what power to do it. I want it to go, you know, very much into it, and then I'm going to have to try to grind it off. So let's turn on. I think I'm going to have it on max and 1 there, maybe. No, maybe I'll do max. Maybe I'll do max on both because they're pretty thick. Now I've got my helmet here. Ta-da! So this just goes. You can't look at welding, you see, with your eyes because otherwise you'll get weld eye. It's bad. It's very bad. So you have to have this here, but this is good because it blacks itself out as soon as it sees the bright lights from here. So I can actually see right now. Okay, here we go. Got my gauntlets on. Yeah, I can see the wire coming out. Let's give it a go. I'm trying to melt it right in. In fact, I've eaten away quite a bit of the metal there, but I don't think that's going to matter. Right, I can get rid of this now. What I love about welding is, I love the fact that it's instant and it's forever, you know? That there, you don't have to wait for it to go off, it's just done. So I'm going to try to weld down this side as well. I'm trying to melt it right into the metal. Let me go around this side. I love the smell. Now you know what I didn't do? Oh, I'm a real plonker. I didn't bring the other one down. I should have brought the other one down because then I could measure against it. But I brought the ring down. So I can, you know, I'll have to now spend ages grinding this back to try to get the ring to fit. Anyway, that's the welding part done, and I don't think that's ever going to come undone now. Right, so you can see now that I've gone right the way through. You can see like weld marks and stuff on this side. Maybe you can't see. No, I don't think you can see, can you? So now I have to get the angle grinder and I have to start working my way round to try to make it into that knobbly bit again. So I brought this along now and I've got to keep grinding until this fits roughly on top of it. Of course it's not going to be perfect, it's going to look awful. Right, I've got some gloves, ear defenders and goggles. Now we're going to start angle grinding. I'll do this up on the bench. I've got a grinding disc on here, not a cutting disc. Cutting discs are a lot thinner, grinding discs are thick. So I'm going to start on here. Okay, I've kind of got the right shape. I might have to go to a cutting disc because the problem is this is putting quite a curve on it and I need more of a straight edge. But I'm going to take more away for the moment on the bottom.
13 segundos.
I think that might be it once I put the cutting disc on that. I know I shouldn't be doing a cutting disc. I just I need to get a sharpish edge. Right, I'm going to swap over now to the cutting disc.
It's actually going pretty well so far. I'm happy. I hope I don't mess it up now. With the angle grinder on this one anyway, and I think on most, when you're using a grinding disc, you put the kind of male part there, you see the bit sticking up into it. But on the cutting disc now, I won't do it that way, otherwise this would probably be just spinning because you see it's so thin. So I've got to put it upside down. So that male part now is sticking up towards me. Now there is a chance of this shattering now because you shouldn't use a cutting disc like this. I'm just going to very gently go on the bottom to try to get rid of the mini ramp curve, you know, like a skateboard curve at the bottom. I wonder, would that do? It's a little bit small, but it seems about the right height. The metal still seems nice and straight. You can see it's sticking up there now. I wonder, is that going to be okay? I think I might go with that. Right, time to put all this back together, and I'll just show you what it's like. Now, if I had my time again, I'd try to make it a little bit bigger. There's definitely going to be more wear on it because it should fit nice and snug. So if you have a look at this one, you can see that that's a lovely snug fit, and there's probably only, well, there is grease on that, maybe 1/2 mil play around the place. So you can see that that's going to go around with not much wear. Well, with this one, we've got a huge amount of wear. Yeah. But I think the strength will be there. But that is going to obviously wear. Slight worry that because there's play here, if it was to meet a thick branch, then it's going to give a little bit. But I'm thinking with the speed it's going, I don't think that's going to affect it. I honestly think this will work. But obviously, we will see. So I have to put this back together. I'm going to do these ones first. Now I get to say those annoying words, which is putting it back together is just a reversal of taking it apart. Never quite as simple as that, but yeah, it's easy enough, to be fair. What's interesting is you can't do up the bolts, I don't think, on the blades too tight. They only seem to want to go up so far, and there's still a little bit of play in it. So maybe that's what that rectangle washer's for, is to stop them getting crushed together. Don't actually know, but yeah. Otherwise in the factory, maybe somebody would do it up too tight, and then the blades wouldn't move freely. So yeah, I'll put it all back together, and we're just going to turn it on in the hallway. Let's see if it's any different than it was before. Okay, I'm actually apprehensive about this because I'm worried it might snap. If it's going to work, I think it will keep on working. I'm just worried that, let's say if I haven't aligned something with the amount of torque on it, that it might just shear straight off. There's only one way to find out. Here we go. Haven't done this, so this is going to be the first time. Right, here we go. That now is making the right noise. Definitely. Let me get the camera right up close to it. I think this is going to be a proper fix. Here we go. And I can definitely see them both moving when it slows down. I'm so happy with that. Right, we'll test that tomorrow, but just until then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a twig now and put it in here, and I'll get my wife or my son to press it on. I want to see if it's going to cut the twig. Okay, so I've got a twig or branch from the garden, albeit it is a dead one. I'm going to start with the thin side first because it's quite thick here. Let's see if it's going to work. So just put it on now.
Well, that cut it very nicely. I'm not going to try to cut that, especially not inside, but you could see that it cut those no problem at all. Whether it's going to cut them, I think you're asking too much, because it just about, it fills that up. I'd feel happy doing that in the garden. I wouldn't feel happy doing that inside in case it kicked back and came at me. But yeah, 100% we fixed it. I think it might be a lasting fix. I'm going to do this on the hedge tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. Let's see if this is going to cut anything. I can barely lift it. Can't tell you how heavy the thing is. Oh, there it goes. Well, I'm a happy bunny. I don't know if you've seen any of that, but 100% it cuts. Let's do a little bit here. Result, that's working. Well, there we have it. Hopefully in that part of the video there you've seen that it was doing some cutting. It works very well. I particularly liked welding. Something about welding makes you feel powerful. What doesn't make me feel powerful is using this thing. I must be super weak, because clearly this has been designed to be used by people, unless of course in Germany maybe everybody's like the Incredible Hulk. I can't get over the top heavy weight of this. I think if you were doing something like a hedge, is it called a privet hedge? I'll have to Google it. I think they're privet hedges. In the UK there's loads of them. My dad's got one running down his garden, probably about 6 feet tall. Maybe not even quite that tall. So you can't have this vertical. When it's vertical, it's okay because it's kind of balanced. As soon as you go to 45 degrees, it wants to go down because of the weight of it. You're holding it here, and you've got another like 2 meters or whatever after that pulling it down. I think if you were doing a privet hedge 6 foot tall, you can't go vertical because it's going to miss the top. You have to go up 45 degrees. Yes, you can angle that top like that, but as you're going along, I think it's going to arch. You're going to go here, start low, go up in the middle, then the weight's going to take it down. You step along a little bit, you start off here, arch, and I think it's just going to end up with your hedge kind of doing this. I think it's going to be very hard to get a flat line on the top. I don't know why they made it so heavy. It's lovely that it feels good quality, but I think, honestly, I think lots of people would struggle with it. Unless, of course, YouTube has made me incredibly weak. But when I was with BT, I used to carry ladders around and all sorts of heavy stuff all day long. So I don't think I'm that weak, but I'm struggling with this one here. But you know what? I've been doing YouTube since 2014. Maybe I have gone incredibly weak. So there we have it. I'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And I will hopefully see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone.
I went out and tried to cut a pine tree down, fell through the ground like Alice. Oh, what a sound! This must be a nest. I got rocks and sticks against my chest. I'm Alice, dear queen of hearts. I'ma grow you white roses so you can learn to be kind. you can learn.